court for an interview.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Great cast on the day. I am joined by Matt as they just got their victory. First thing I have to ask you, we're into week 3 now. The prep has kind of changed, but have you seen that it's changed coming into a best of 3? How do you plan for 2 days of games, that many compositions, or is it just like riding a bike? You do it as you hit champion select?
Yeah, we definitely changed the way how we prep. Before, yeah, we had a much different process since we're only going in for 1 game, but in a best of 3, there's a lot more, like, I'd say diversity for how you want to prepare for each game. And yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like any extra work, it's just a different way we have to prepare.
Have you found that it's kind of changed the way you go about prepping or looking at the game as you go into enter a new week?
Oh, what'd you say?
Have you found that it's kind of changed your style of prep and the way you look at the game?
Oh, okay, yeah. I see. I mean, not really. To be honest, like when it's a best of 3, you definitely, it benefits you if you have a big champion pool. So for me, I don't really think too much about, best of 3s.
It's got to feel good. One thing you definitely had to think about was a new AD carry in the bot lane. I want to ask, coming up to these games, was there much scrim time that you actually got with Fabi, with Piglet still being on the team, and how's it gone so far?
Oh yeah, so at the beginning of the week, we just decided, yeah, this was the week where we could put Fabi on stage. I think Fabi is a monster AD carry, especially in like challenger scene. He is definitely a lot better than all the challenger AD carries. He's very much an LCS level AD carry, so we definitely wanted to get him LCS experience, and yeah, I think the challenger team was also kind of struggling with with whatever they were struggling with, and Piglet definitely helped them out when they were scrimming with them. So the whole week we were just scrimming with Fabi until, actually before the challenger game, because Fabi played challenger, and then yeah, Fabi played for LCS after that.
Seems like he's done great, even to have to play against the Vayne himself, so it didn't seem to do too much to his mentality. My final question for you, back to prep. You guys have Apex tomorrow. Do you feel prepped for it?
I have Apex. Wait, what? Wait, no, I don't. Wait, what?
No, you guys, Apex next week. I'm sorry, not tomorrow. You guys have it. I was like, wait, yes, you do. But no, coming up next week. You guys are done for Sunday. Next week. You did catch me on that. Thank you for the correction.
My bad. I should have filled it in. But yeah, next week, I think our prep's really strong. I mean, I'd say we're definitely preparing more for Immortals because we're actually facing off Immortals. I think Adrian, yeah, he's really strong with range supports. And for me, I'm also really getting good at range supports too. So I think for our drafts, I'm not really too picky about what support I get. I think all the matchups are really good for me, so I'm pretty excited facing off against Immortals. And for Apex, yeah, I think we'll prepare a decent amount for them too.
Fantastic. May the best team win. Thank you very much, Matt, for the interview, and congratulations on the win. Now we're going to throw it back to Dash to break down the rest of the day.
Thank you very much, Riv, trying to get that bonus game in at the end of the weekend.
Matt's like, I'm done, right? I don't want to break.
But Team Liquid picking up their second match victory of the week. That concludes their week of LCS play. So moving to 3-3, this is a huge boon to this Team Liquid roster. They're going to feel very good evening up to that 500 record, bumping up the standings quite significantly here in week 3.
Yeah, I think it was, definitely an easier week when you look at the strength of schedule. But at the same time, if you're dropping these games, that's when you're in full-on panic mode. They got the wins they needed. They were able to get Fabi some experience, which they said they were really looking to do. And, he played pretty well. So I think it was a pretty big win for them on the weekend.
Yeah, let's look at how they did it diving into this game here, game 3 of the series. Champion select. We see that Vladimir go over to Team Liquid again. To me, that was the initial... I was so surprised that NRG was willing to give that back to Phoenix after his performance on it in Game 1. They do it nonetheless, and of course, we do see Dardoch go back to the Olaf and be that terror.
Yeah, I really don't like giving the Vlad over again. You can kind of chalk Game 1 up as like, oh, maybe it was kind of a fluke that he gets those 2 kills early on and we can control him otherwise. But Vlad is just such a powerful pick. And it's the kind of pick you want Phoenix on where he's not interacting too much with the rest of the map. Usually he's just farming, which he does really well. You saw him with a huge CS lead. And then when you get into these kind of side lane skirmishes, 10 minutes plus into the game, the Vlad is just so hard to deal with at that point, and we really saw the impact of it. And I don't really like the Vayne. I know we were talking about it, kiting out a Shen and a Olaf, but when you have a Vlad untargetable coming in with a charged E with Sivir speed, the Vayne is just going to get blown up.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's like an idealistic world where you say, well, Vayne is such a great late game tank, and health destroyer, right? I've got true damage procs on my Silver Bolts. This is the champion I want to play into high health targets like Vlad, Shen, and Olaf. But then you forget, in order to deal that damage, you need time to attack, and that's not going to happen when you have an Olaf running at your face, a Vlad who can turn intargetable in 2 different ways through the Zhonya's and the pool, right, with the damage that's coming out on top of that. So, in my opinion, as well as yours, kind of a poor choice there on the side of NRG. Want to move into the game itself because this game got bloody real fast. 13 minutes into the game, we see a 5-for-2 Team Liquid down in the bot lane near This is, I think, the fight where Dardoch gets walled off. This is a weird fight by Dardoch, so not the one we're looking for, but one of the few missteps by Team Liquid in this game and possibly NRG's way back into it was Dardoch getting a little bit greedy there, trying to pick up just the Raptors. We have an extended engage here. Phoenix looking for that flash in order to get the ultimate. Again, underestimating his damage maybe, or the team's ability to follow up. But ultimately, Team Liquid will lose a couple off of this. But here's the big thing about this was it was 19 minutes into the game, and so as soon as we saw this, we're like, oh man, they got the jungler, they got they might go to Bear. Oh, it's 19 minutes into the game. There's literally nothing for NRG to take. All they get is the 2 kills. That brought it from 6.5k gold advantage to like a 4k gold advantage for Team Liquid. So they were still sitting very pretty at that 19-minute mark. I don't know if we're going to be able to get that ace in the bot lane that I want to see. If not, if that doesn't get pulled up right now, what I would like to move to is the end of the game, the 4-for-0 that Team Liquid pulls off in the top jungle.
Yeah, near the red bush. So this is one of those times where, once again, we see Dardoch getting walled off, but a big difference is the rest of the team's able to follow up fast, so he's not chunked out by the time this fight starts. What I really like here is Phoenix chasing Okyu and then realizes he doesn't need to kill him. He just moves to the group of 3 that are low on the other side and acts as a flanker as opposed to trying to chase down Vayne for that last kill. I think this was a very smart decision from him, and you kind of see the strength of that speed comp. Dardoch gets caught out, you're like, oh no, and then out of nowhere, just boom, whole team on top of you.
Yeah, it was a very smart pathing by Phoenix, but it also, that replay did kind of serve to show that Vayne didn't have options against Vlad, right? He did put some good damage down, but then I get to E-pool, heal out of that, and return to my team, right? You're not going to kill the Vlad when he can become untargetable. No surprise, Phoenix is going to be our player of the game. 5-1-6 as that Vladimir. Absolutely destructive on that champion today. Wouldn't be surprised if next week when they do play Apex, that gets banned away from him and he doesn't have the opportunity to play that champion.
Yeah, I think he's proven himself on it. You gave him 2 games. He kind of dominated those 2 games. Time to take him off of it.
All right, well, regardless, Team Liquid 2-0, going to be happy with that one. NRG to 1-4, still some struggles for them, but they have some time to turn it around. The standings have been updated, so let's have a look at where the teams have fallen. Still in possession of first place, it's TSM, while Immortals and Envy are now tied for second. Middle of the pack teams with 3 wins include Cloud9, Apex, and Liquid, and CLG leads the bottom teams with 2 wins. Now, Saturday's done, but there's more yet to come with a day of full games tomorrow. LCS 1 will show the Battle Arenas matches, NRG versus TSM and Echo Fox versus Immortals. Over on NALCS 2, Apex faces off against Cloud9 in the Battle Theater, with CLG and Team Envy following up in that following series. These matches that we're looking at, which ones jump out at you?
Envy CLG. I think we saw a really dominant CLG using the Jax today, and you're going to want to see A, how Envy adapts to that, and B, now that this is the second strong team that they're probably going to play against, how strong they actually are, because they looked really good today.
They did look good.
They have some things to work on. I think the Prox and Gragas play was a little suspect at times, as well as Ninja getting caught out of position a couple times. So they really need to shore up their team fighting more than anything else, but the rest of their team looks pretty strong.
Yeah, we do recall back to the first series of the day, Immortals versus Envy. Even though it was a 2-0 win for Immortals, Envy did look very good in it. My question is, how do they rebound from their first match loss? Not that they haven't lost games prior to this, but they do finally suffer a defeat. They are going up against another formidable opponent in CLG, and in this case, again, they're technically the higher seeded team. They might be feeling some pressure to really step up and shut down CLG here.
Yeah, I think this is kind of like the test that we've been talking about. They have these really difficult teams for the next 3 games now.
Yeah.
And it's really going to put some hair on their chest, step up. But I think as long as they do their prep work, I think CLG, while they look strong, you have to question how deep that strength is, because it might just be off the back of that Jax. So they're going to, and Kindred also, actually, Smithy looked really good on that. So I think if they do some bans, they force CLG out of their comfort zone, they could look for a win.
Yep, 4 sweet series to watch tomorrow. Now, before we wrap up, let's take a look at some of the big plays you called out on Twitter. Our first submission comes from the series between Liquid and NRG from El Flaming Taco. That Anivia wall feels good, man. Let's roll the bird.
In his own jungle, one more hit'll do it. Santorin, no, he bounced away just barely.
Oh,
and
the wall takes him!
Oh, the perfect wall from GBM. Is he playing Irelia or playing Gnar? Because he was trapped in that ice for millennia.
Next, another moment from Liquid versus NRG where Barnaby's one writes the triple kill from the kid. Here's another look at that big play.
There's the knock-up into the root lands. That's going to be all the damage. Perfectly played. First blood comes through, and now Fabi is going to have to flash away and stay alive. But here comes the teleport in for Lolo. Cannot be matched by Quas. Lolo level 2 has no one to stun, slows down OQ, but look at the damage output. Teleports in to die, and now a red buff to chase Fabi. This is catastrophic. This should be the kill. A double pick up, and now Dardoch wants one, but can he get enough? He really wants Kiwi Kid. I don't know if he can quite do it, though. Gets rooted up. He gets gonna get one more axe, one more attack, and now a triple kill for Kiwi Kid. 4-1 for NRG.
Go, go.
Olaf for missing, Olaf for missing.
Fight, go. Fight, OQ, fight.
Okay.
Kill.
Okay.
Nice. No. Kill him. Nice.
That was only the first half of the craziness that happened in that top lane during game 1 of that series between Team Liquid and
Yeah,
NRG.
the Phoenix CP comes in for 2 more kills after that. It was pure madness.
Right, absolutely pure madness. And how Team Liquid did unfortunately walk away with the win there after NRG picks up the triple kill on Kiwi.
Yeah.
But it was a fun game to watch regardless. And finally, from Immortals versus Envy comes a tweet from Hobuddy Gnome, which, Mark, is a play on words of nobody home, in case you were wondering.
I didn't get that one.
And he says, well played, Immortals. That was freaking insane. Let's check it out.
Envy trying to stand tall inside Immortals base. That Nexus turret will fall. Immortals has to go for broke as Envy looks for the Nexus. Lod with his eyes focused. That's the frozen tomb on the Lod. He goes down immediately. The Sun Disc doing so much to help stop Envy from getting a win. And it looks like Immortals is going to be able to hold on as they hold their breath. Seraph comes back up from the GA. That's a double kill. And Pole Belter to finish one off himself. The Nexus stays alive.
First, I'm gonna go Baron.
Hey, Gragas is on me.
Gragas, finish. Stop him finishing. I'm gonna Elbow Toronto. Finish Gragas first.
Can we finish?
Yeah, we can finish. Go.
We have 2 minutes.
Go top. Yeah, go top. Oh my.
Now, that was heartbreaking only because can you imagine if we got to see a 3rd game of that series?
Yeah, you and I are both like getting ready, like, all right, we're going to game 3, here we go. And then next thing it's like, oh, I guess we're going to wrap this one up for a 2-0, huh?
No, but that was one of those moments. I mean, high action games out of both games in that series. Would have loved to have seen a game 3. Unfortunately, not in the cards for us today, but both of those teams playing very well. Excited to continue to watch them throughout the split. We're all done here, though, for today. So for myself, Mark, the casters, and the entire live broadcast crew, thank you for spending your Saturday with us, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.